like this, like he was all like
That's
expecting one of us to rush the
Just that is the best effect.
Okay, yeah, so I'm going to stop me.
I understand you already have a meeting scheduled.
Yes, sir.
Oh, awesome, that was quick. You want to follow me?
Awesome.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
In a second.
Okay. How you been, man?
Oh man, good, John.
Sure. In Texas, as well as the racial origins of it, it was racially discriminatory.
Okay.
And I'm sure he's preparing a summary for your review. I'd simply invite you to look at the history of it, which isn't very proud. It's not what the authors of our Constitution intended, and many of our present laws exceed the intended authority that the Constitution, that is the Texas Constitution, granted them. Article 1, Section 23.
Okay.
And if you would have the opportunity to review those materials, I would hope that the Speaker would consider them in his determination to allow House Bill 195 to come to a vote.
Okay. Now, which I'm sorry, I don't, with all the bills we
HB
have.
195, sir, is the constitutional open carry. It's the open carry without licensing, sir.
Okay. Without licensing?
Yes, sir. The thing that gets me, sir, is that with concealed handgun licenses come the license and paying for that.
Right.
There are people that are middle class to, I guess, lower class paid citizens who can't afford those things. And I don't think that just because they're working a minimum wage job trying to make it and support their family that they should be stripped of their rights to protect themselves and their family. I also believe that, and I'm a veteran who just recently medically retired from the military. I gave 13 years of my life to the military, and I was on Fort Hood when Major Nadal Hassan, a terrorist in my own eyes, and that's how I see it. I don't care how my president sees it. That terrorist came on that post and tried to kill a bunch of people, and yes, he was successful in killing 13. But I, as a soldier, was stripped of my right to protect myself. Me, a person who is trained, who is taught to eliminate threats, was forced to be a victim. And now that I'm out of the military, I will fight for these gun rights, and I will refuse to be a victim. I refuse to have to ask permission to protect myself. I don't think it's right. I think that, and you know, I was just downstairs right during the rally, and I was out at our table where we sell our merchandise, and a lady from another state comes up and she says, "What do you mean Texas doesn't have open carry? We have open carry. Texas is known for guns." And I'm like, well, Texas isn't as gun-friendly as you think it is. And I don't understand why 31 other states have unlicensed open carry and we don't. I don't understand that completely.
And this is Brady, our policy house.
There's some more folks out. Do you think we can?
2?
No, like 11.
Oh.
Of us? Of ours?
Yeah, I think they're right there.
Really?
Well, can we just keep it here right now?
Yeah, that's fine.
One other thing I would invite your attention to.
Sure.
This bill in no way is intended to or does affect the concealed handgun licensing process. It's specifically intended to leave that in place exactly as it is today. And there are many reasons people might want to have such a license: to take advantage of reciprocity agreements with other states when traveling, to get into the capital.
That's a good point, 'cause I was going to ask that question. So what happens to concealed if you go?
It stays the same, sir. It does not affect it.
It's our specific intent that it remain unchanged. There are some people saying that, oh, it's going to adversely affect things. It will not in the bill as introduced. And should people desire to continue to have a CHL, there are plenty of instructors who would be very happy to give them the training course. And I've spoken with many instructors And even with unlicensed carry, it's actually a business opportunity for them. All they need to do is tailor their training curriculum to the needs of the people. And I would anticipate that they would have a growing demand for their services.
Now, is your organization out of Texas?
Yes, we are open carry Texas. We are for the open carry right for Texas.
We are in no way associated with the group that 2 weeks ago made fools of themselves.
Okay, so
That was not us, sir.
I want to make very
Not
clear
us.
that we are not open carry Tarrant County. We are open carry Texas.
Who
We
was
want
the group? Well, Brady probably knows. Who was that group?
That was open carry.
Open carry Tarrant County was here before,
Oh,
and they put forth,
Specifically, a gentleman with the name of Corey Watkins.
they put forth a very unprofessional and childish side to this, and we want the people to know, we want the representatives to know that, look, there are people like us that are sane-minded people and that are logical. We can sit down and have an adult conversation. Right, we can be respectful with you. My mom and dad taught me how to be respectful, so I can sit down and I can talk to you, look you in the face, and we can talk eye to eye, face to face, shake hands. And even if you don't support the bill that I'm asking you to, I can respect you as a man and walk out knowing that you told me the truth.
Sure. No, I would say you're going to have much more progress in having a dialogue and participating in the dialogue by being respectful and professional. So
That's why we're here.
For that.
That's the
That's-
way,
Yes, sir.
the way Open Carry Texas prefers to do business is to speak with people in a respectful, civil manner,
Yes, sir.
present information, answer questions, and thank them for their time.
Sure. Well, let me tell you where we're at. You referenced giving material to Brady, and Brady and I haven't had a chance to sit down, but we will, and we'll get our team involved. We're early in the process for any legislation, not just this, but we are in the committee assignment stage. So as a matter of fact, we're meeting with members. We have been, and we'll continue to do so today and the rest of the week. Just finding out about their interests, what they want to work on, what they don't want to work on, and so that'll take another week or two, and then we'll make our assignments, or the speaker will make his official assignments, and then the committees will go, and you'll start seeing bills heard, and I'm sure the handgun bills of all varieties will have some kind of meeting. You may know more about that, but until we name the chairs, there's not any discussion on strategy, timing, etc.
Can you tell us where the speaker stands on gun rights, gun issues, and does he stand more to our side where there's no licensing? Do you think, in his mind, from what you know of the man, would he back a licensing bill or a non-licensing bill?
Without sitting down with him and distinguishing all the facts, I'm not going to give an answer today, but I will say that he's certainly supportive of Article 2, and myself, I'm a former FBI agent, if that tells you anything. And so I have law enforcement background. I manage a law enforcement division at a state agency as well. So I appreciate the handgun and law enforcement, et cetera. So I think we need to sit down, because we're hearing a lot of misinformation, not from you, but from different groups. And I think we need to sort through everything. And then the speaker will work with the members and see what the members as a whole want to move. And then what I would encourage you to do with that process in mind is work the members. And again, work them in a respectful way. But the members will come to us and say, here's where the momentum is. Here's the bill that will move, or bills that will move. Because there'll be a variety with handguns.
Our objective would be, it'd be wonderful if the speaker supported the bill, but what we only expect is a fair opportunity for the bill to be heard and come to a vote.
Sure.
Can I ask where you yourself individually would stand on open carry, sir?
I don't, whether it's open carry or any, I have to be real careful because as the chief of staff for the speaker's office, I work with 150 members, and I have to be real careful on any position because members come to me in opposing viewpoints, and I can't have them feeling like I'm working against them or for them out of fairness. My job is more the facilitator and the administrator of the process. That's a fair question.
Now, you asked about facts.
I have one question for you,
Sure.
and this is the elephant in the room, and I'm doing this for our members, not to put you on the spot.
Sure.
But the basis of all our law is the Texas Constitution and the U.S. Constitution, and each and every one of them swear an oath to that Constitution. And the question on everybody's mind is, we're looking for a constitutional bill. Even if I take it out of open carry, a constitutional bill to apply and to abide by the Constitution. What would be our hang-up on getting a bill that's constitutional, that everybody swore an oath to, and to get us back to where our country was founded and what we stand on, because as our lawmakers, that is our law. What's to get in our way? Why do we have all these issues, and what is it that's so hard for people to fathom when we're just asking to stand on what our law is and what their oath is? And that's really the question I hear from everyone, and I have to ask it.
Sure.
Is there any way you can address that?
I think the best response there is that members tend to want to see details. And so you can, as another example, you can ask them their position on school finance, and they're going to want to see the runs. Right?
Well, this is considering the Constitution is what I'm asking.
But I mean, there's also a constitutional issue
right.
with school finance. So I think that really, until you educate them, give them the details, exactly what you're looking for, how does it impact concealed carry, how does it impact...
But that's not the issue on the Constitution. The Constitution, and I'm sorry to give you a hard time.
No,
I know I'm putting you on the spot. But this is what a lot of our members really need this question answered in the state. It says shall not be infringed, which doesn't mean go and compare it to anything. It means we put our foot down and we protect ourselves should we be invaded. We're right next to Mexico. We have all the illegals coming in. We've got a lot of people that are saying things. We've got Russia that was spotted in our Gulf with their submarine. There's a lot of other issues other than, oh, I'm afraid of the police or anything like that. We have that Second Amendment to protect the country and our people. It's not just for home ownership and protecting the home.
Well, I can assure you that any legislation that passes will be bound by the Constitution, both state and federal. At the end of the day, whatever they end up moving, I mean, you know, it will adhere to those principles in the Constitution.
But what would be our holdup of pushing a constitutional issue to get back to the foundation?
It's early in the process.
I know.
For any bill, I mean, we've laid out our budget. That's about the only thing we've done that's
Jesse,
and thank you.
Jesse, are we hearing it that we perhaps can influence Speaker Straus on how we feel on this matter? Because we would really prefer if we could continue this dialogue and continue to influence the process of his choice on this matter, because it's a very important issue for a lot of us Texans here in the state.
Yeah,
so
I would encourage you to, the way you influence the speaker is by influencing the members.
And keeping the
because he will, on any bill, outside of perhaps the water bill last session, which he was actually a little more involved, all the other bills, he leads it to the will of the House. And so what I would encourage you to do is to go work the members, and the members will come to us and say, this is the bill or bills that are going to move in this area. So
You said something interesting. You said the will of the House. How do we get it back to the will of the people?
Well, for the actual process, the process for you to effectuate change is for the legislators, the House members, to take a vote. So that's all I mean there.
Right.
Yeah, not taking away from
it's not you. You're not the one there. It's questions that are going to come up with people watching this video.
Sure.
And it needs to be asked so that they understand as well.
The framers through our process have set up this 140-day process.
Right.
So
to
to effectuate the change, you'll need to influence the members so that at the committee level, get it out of committee, get it onto the floor, the vote on the floor, the vote in the Senate, and then when they come back to reconcile any changes, you know, if that is.
And thank you, because this really educates people how it works.
Sure.
A lot of us are first timers, and I know I'm being a little bit, firm on things.
Right.
But we need to learn, and we're not going to be able to do this unless we ask the question.
You're going to be, and I'll tell you this, you're going to be competing with the other group that we talked about earlier, and then you're going to be competing with groups that are out here in opposition to you. They're going to be working just as hard as you will be. So really, it's a process, and you've got to go out there and work it.
One other thing I'd like to invite your attention to: a number of people have expressed concerns to me about, well, what if this, or what if that? Well, we have a great many laws that can be enforced if people do ill deeds. And there are 31 states, as people have pointed out, that have unlicensed open carry, and 13 others that have licensed open carry, one of which Oklahoma is considering a bill right now to have unlicensed open carry. And it's simply not been a problem. I mean, that's real world evidence that in the actual event, there's been no significant problem.
That's the type of information that you will need to share with the members. Give them statistics, give them data, you know, give them examples, so they consider that as they're debating the bill.
Yeah. I think our main issue that we want to address with Straus is just to make sure that this bill does get to the members, that it does get to our legislators, excuse me, and that it, you know, doesn't just get sent to a committee with a, you know, anti-gun chair,
Sure.
and just get sent there to die and not even get voted on. But, you know, we want to make sure that it actually gets, you know, a fair shake, that it gets to the members, that they're able to put forth the will of the people, that the people have spoken to their legislators about, so that we want this.
Sure.
But they can't vote for it if it doesn't get out of committee to them.
Understood. Well, you'll have an opportunity soon enough when the committees are announced to go out and talk to them and talk to their staff.
How do we find out who those, once the committees are assigned?
Once they come out, it'll be public. We'll have it out.
It'll be public?
There'll be a press release. We'll have it on our house website. And then I'm sure all the news agencies will run them. It's usually makes, you know, the electronic news right away. But you'll have that process within, I mean, I don't have a date, but, you know, certainly within a couple, 3 weeks.
Okay.
The media will probably know before y'all, right?
Well,
That's usually the way it works.
no, as tell them, but I'll also tell you this. I would encourage you to keep Brady posted on your progress and on who you've met with. And if time comes during session and you want to have another meeting, I'll sit down with you again and we'll kind of see where you're at and compare notes and have a dialogue with probably a little more meaningful discussion on where everybody's at.
Should you or the speaker have any questions at any time, it would be our pleasure to try to answer them.
No, I appreciate it, and I'll meet with you anytime, you know, schedule permitting. But I do appreciate the fact that y'all are respectful, and we can sit down and talk, and hopefully we'll